Alright, what's going on everybody, it's Liam here, and welcome back to another Wizard101 video on the channel. And in today's video, I want to talk about the top 10 most used PvP spells in 2024. Now, we're actually getting this data from Ratbeard. He made a tweet, I think about last week, asking the community, what do you think are the most popular spells in PvP right now, including TCs and main deck. And then recently, on his stream, a couple days ago actually, he basically came out and talked about them, and in today's video I have the list and we'll be reviewing them. Alright, so coming in at the number 10 spot, we have Dark Surge. Now this is the new spell that has come out, I think, over the past couple of months, and it's actually a really good spell. It's really nice that Kingsoft found a way to add, meaningful shadow magic into the game, because aside from shadow enhanced hits, we haven't really got anything too useful in the past couple of years in terms of shads. However, with Dark Surge, it's actually a pretty darn good card, and arguably some people in the community think it's pretty OP. I think Dark Surge is fine because it walks the line of not being too overpowered, but also not being like too forgettable and unusable, like spells like Shadow Trickster or like Dark Nova, for example. And Dark Surge probably is the one thing that has shook up the meta in terms of content over the past 8 months of PvP. Coming in at the number 9 spot, we have Brace. Now, this is a spell that is only used on resist schools, so stuff like Balance, Death, Ice, Myth, that kind of thing. It's used on these schools because, in case you guys don't know, resist is the best stat in the game, for obvious reasons, right? Just math and stuff like that. Brace is just good because of the multiplicative nature of Wizard101, and obviously a Brace is more value than an actual aura, like a Magnify or like a Galvanic. So if you are on a resist school and you click Brace, it's just there's no counter to it, not even infallible or flawless counter it. It used to back in the day when it was 2020, but now it's 1520 in the favor of Brace. So unfortunately, as of right now, there's just no counter to Brace really, unless you're balanced with Aura Pop, and it's always a good move on those resist schools. Coming in at the number 8 spot, we have Empower. Now, Empower is a staple in the PvP community because basically it's good on every school. Not Death, because obviously Death, it's going to do like 500, 600 damage to yourself. Even through a weakness, it's going to do a lot. However, on the 6 other schools in the game, it's really good because you take like maybe like 30, 100 damage max, but you can break off a weakness, break off stacked weaknesses and utilities on yourself, and then get a lot of pips and a lot of tempo back. At the number 7 spot, we have Threefold Fever. Now, this is no surprise because, like I said in the last point, the meta has been basically the same through schools for the past 8 months or so. So, what is that? Death, Myth, and Balance. So, Deaths run a lot of Threefolds because the counters to them are not very good. The only school that can really counter Threefold spam is Myth, arguably, and even then, if the Myth deck fails, it could work. The counters being bad, combined with the nature of having so many copies, like having 4 in main, or having a Darkmoor deck for like 10, and then having like a Gloomy Goatling Pet for 2 more, and then you can pack them inside as well, basically means you're gonna get guaranteed value and a guaranteed gambit eventually. Coming in at the number 6 spot, we have main deck Tumlock. Now, I kind of expected to see this because all 7 schools pack Tumlock. It's just always the best move to do on round 1, typically because of how good Myth Banshee is right now on every school and in general with the pacing. Also, if you don't stun block against like a Myth Wizard right away, you're probably just gonna fall over and die and lose that game. Storm and Fire have decent stun combos as well, even Ice to an extent. At the number 5 spot, we have Mana Burn. Now, the whole community kind of knew this was gonna be on here, right? PvP players always joke about, if they ever tell us what the most used spells are, it's probably going to be Mana Burn. And what do you know? Mana Burn's on the number 5 slot right here. Coming in at the number 4 spot, some of you guys might be surprised, and that's actually Spirit Shield. Spirit Shield, I kind of thought it would be on the list because of how, overpowered shield gambits are in the game right now, and they have been ever since they come out generally. But Yeah, Spirit Shield is up pretty high. Don't really need to explain this. It's just because of how popular and OP shield gambits are, and KI still hasn't really introduced a way to properly balance them out. Even though they've tried many times, it just seems to be one of those cases where they just refuse to listen to the community and stuff like that. But, you know, hopefully we can see some changes here pretty soon. I know Stormbringer said he was doing some PvP. He actually left a comment on my recent video talking about that. He got blown up by a Mythgen many times on his Storm Wizard. So hopefully we can, you know, get some either direct nerfs to shield gambits or make the counters better against them. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we have Elemental Shield TC. This is no surprise, right? This is one of the best cards to counter Hydra with, and obviously as well, shield gambits are really OP in the meta. Elemental Shield was always going to be higher than Spirit Shield just because of how oppressive Hydra is, and obviously, you know, Storm and Fire are pretty high damage schools. You're probably going to want to set shield to them. Also, something cool about Elemental Shield is Ice actually can't Steel Ward or pierce the Ice Shield off. So basically, they have to like wand or hit through that shield to get around it. So it's a pretty good counter to Ice in that regard. But it's up this high in the list because of how spammed Hydra is in the game and how overpowered shield gambits are in the game. Coming in at the number 2 spot, take a guess, is it going to be Tower or Weakness? Well, it's Tower Shield. Now, this is what I thought would happen. I thought Tower would be number 2 and Weakness would be number 1. Just given how the current meta is in the game right now. It is cool to see Tower Shield not be number 1 though. I think, you know, a while ago, Rapbeard talked about it, like, you know, Tower Shield always being the most popular spell in PvP and stuff like that. But now it's actually Weakness, which makes sense because it's the best way to debuff like Hydra and stuff like that. Also, Fire's really good at countering, you know, a Tower Shield and stuff like that, or Myth can like Splash Squatch or Minotaur, right? So it's better and you're more safer to go for Weakness in general. But yeah, Tower is number 2 and Weakness is at number 1. So I definitely think this list was pretty interesting. I honestly think it makes a lot of sense. I think it's pretty accurate data as well. Kind of surprised to not see Wraith on here or anything like that, Hydra, but you know, we did get Mana Burn on here, which is pretty funny. But again, with the number of balanced wizards in queue in the game right now, it does make sense. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Are you surprised? Was your list close to what you thought it would be in the video here? I hope that KI can do more stuff like this. In general, I think it's a really fun thing for, you know, Rapbeard and the devs to do. And obviously, it's just content to make in general. Fun thing to talk about and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like and a sub if you haven't already. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching and take care.